Woo, I'm live. Okay. Ooh, the chat. Nice. Thank you so much for being here. Also, hi, goats. Hi, goats. They are much higher. They're about a baking cookbook's worth higher than they were. Because that's what they're sitting on right now. Okay, there I can see myself. So hi, Winter and Amaris, and anyone else who's watching. It's always awesome to see you all here. Like, thank you for being here. Well, thanks. Not. I assume that means that being on mute means that you can't hear me, but thank you for being here for analytics and stuff. Yeah. So how is everyone? I'm on the third of the 4 borders. I've decided to not cover every edge. Like I think I'll just leave this how it is and kind of do the trim the fringe so it's all the same length. But I guess this will be the 4th side, the 4th and final border I do. But for right now, we're on this one, and I went back to one of the Hobie Halloween universe lines. I'm still using the blue from their regular universe, but also the pink one. And this is another mosaic pattern that I don't know exactly what it is or where it's from. I was looking for a mosaic border, and then I found one that I liked, but in the blog post that was talking about that pattern, there were a bunch of pictures of what people had done with that pattern, and one person had made this amazing mosaic blanket that was all these different patterns, just in kind of small sections, and it was just really cool. And one of the sections really caught my eye, and so I'm trying to recreate it based just on that picture of the finished work, and it's not really in the foreground either. So we'll see if it works, but it seems to be good so far. Did the Don't Hurt Self challenge. Well, that I don't know what that is, but that sounds good. Well, I hope that his reaction was something that you're happy with. Yeah, I'm not sure if you like. I'm not gonna say what the news is because I don't know if you want me to say it, but like that was some big news, and I know it's hard to kind of sit on that sometimes. Oh right, the surprise. My yarn came. This is the undyed bamboo yarn that I'm going to be dyeing. So I have 2 more bags of 10 hanks. So going to start developing some colorways this weekend, and planning to film a vlog and just like, here's my yarn journey. And so, oh, good. I'm glad that his reaction was good. Oh, the 2022 dance challenge. Cool. Well, that sounds fun. I don't know much about challenges, but oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to prove it, but or like it helps to have proof, but like, well, I am glad that he's excited. I have to hydrate. Speaking of this baking cookbook, which my goats are sitting on, my friend had it around their house, or I think they might have found it on the free table at their apartment, and anyway, gave it to me. I found a lot of muffin recipes in it, and now I have a muffin tin finally. So I'm going to make some chocolate muffins. I was out earlier getting some ingredients. That dance is the reason you're pregnant now. Well, hey. In my experience, that's not uncommon with, like, I mean, I'm just thinking of my clubbing days. I've never, had kids, but just like that tends to happen when you're like out dancing and then come home. So just a moment while I figure out what my next move is. And by move I mean row. Let's see. Well, I know what I'm going to try, so. Grew up in a house full of artists who dance or paint, etc. I dabble in all. Cool. I have a lot of artistic hobbies too. I don't have anyone in my family who's been in the military, but my ex-partner did. I think it was kind of a family thing. Oh, that was the next option, yeah. I was about to start the wrong color. It's actually pink. Well, welcome back, Winter. Oh no, the boots were too big. Were these boots that you were being given, or that you got, or giving or making for someone else, or? Corgi. It sounds like the corgi has been sick. Has been once more cloistered in my roommate's room. they 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 had a friend over just now, so the corgi was out, but it was so cute. She was following me all around when I was getting ready for this. Like, I'd come upstairs and get the put some stuff in, and I'd turn around and she's there, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back downstairs to get the rest of my stuff, and then she'd follow me back down. Your the ADHD kicked in, been off meds for a few weeks, and forgot you were supposed to be recording some vocals. Oh well. Yeah, I'm on meds for that too, and I'm sure it hasn't been easy with the shortage of meds. I actually have to go back tomorrow, I think, to pick up mine, because I was at the pharmacy the other day to just see if I could pick up that one, and I was able to pick up a different prescription, but they didn't have this second one, except so it was a 45-minute wait to get the first one, which was fine. They have a cafe in the place, so I went and got coffee, and then sat in this courtyard thing. So then they checked, and they actually did just have the Adderall meds come in, but if I wanted to get them right then, it would be another hour. So I was like, yeah, I'll just come back. But yeah, hopefully you can get more if you need and want to be on meds, but also if you don't, that's cool. Cool too. I mean, it's not my job to decide that. What kind of vocals are you doing, or do you want to be the recording? Well, that sucks. Not medicated because my doctor doesn't think it would benefit me. My brain is in shambles. It cannot focus. Well, it sounds like your doctor, like, I'm not a doctor, but like that sounds like some benefit is needed. So I'm sorry to hear that. Oh no. sun is below the clouds, so that backfired. Okay. Not completely sure how the blinds work yet, but that's okay. I like the colors in this border so far. Blue and pink and orange. The closing rows for the Lost Souls shawl. Cool. Is that the red and black one? Or the green and black one? I could be getting the colors wrong, but I am at the first color change for my Lost Souls garment that I'm doing for my housemate. I'm using one of those Hobie cakes that's like, I think it's the Dahlia cake, where and this colorway is black on the outside and then goes through purple, pink, orange, gold. So, oh, one for your shop. That one's gonna have to wait. Urgent need of money. Yeah, that makes sense. Why you'd be doing one for your shop then. Like, as long as I do the same thing in each repeat of this pattern, it'll probably look good, even if it's not exactly what I intended. But I'm trying to guess what the pattern is for this border based on a part of the blanket that I saw. So I'm just trying to look at the picture like, okay, it looks like there's a 2 single crochet there. Do y'all ever just read or try to like the reverse engineer the garment to find out the pattern? I'm finding that I can start to do that, which is a really cool skill to have, but it's not always something I can do. So a couple days ago, on a different subject, I went to the Asian market near me, which was quite a long way. Like, I had to take a bus and a train, and I'm so happy with having that close by. I think I'm probably gonna get any groceries delivered in the future, because it's too far without a car. But the sad thing was I found out that my big purple suit rolling suitcase that I've been taking to stores to help carry my groceries home is apparently not meant to be rolled over miles of sidewalk. One of the wheels broke, so hopefully I can get that fixed soon, or at some point. But for right now, I'm not going to use it to take my groceries home. It was great though. Like, I wanted to get more rice, and like, obviously at an Asian market they'll have rice. They will have 3, 5, 10, 30, and 50 pound bags in like 10 different brands of rice. And so like it was a bit overwhelming, but I got a 5 pound bag of jasmine rice. I was hoping to get a bigger bag, but I was like, I can't carry more than that home at this moment. Yes, more rice. The Ghoul Squad has a Discord now. I should definitely check that out. Thank you. Actually, if you can tell me where to find the link, that would be great. I still am keeping it in mind whether I want to do a Discord of mine as well, but since someone was talking about that at one point. But I'm a bit overwhelmed by all the things currently. So, but at some point that would be great. Oh, that's a perfect name. The Yarn Dungeon. Oh, the thing I was gonna say, besides rice, they had like 50 different brands and sizes of some other things that I wanted to buy too, like soy sauce and rice vinegar. There weren't as many different types of the rice vinegar, but I was pretty sure they would have the bigger bottle of it, because I was like, I think I'm gonna go through this kind of fast, and I don't want to deal with these like 10 or 12 ounce the bottles, but they had this, so they had an aisle with all of the sauces, but also this end cap that was just all soy sauce in these really big bottles, like this tall and maybe like this big around. They had a handle on the side because they were so huge. So I got one of those. I don't think I'll be running out anytime soon. And yeah, they also had one of those end caps of just the oyster sauce. I'm guessing that's they're really popular too in, I would guess, Japanese and Chinese cooking. That seems to be what's like the main thing that they were catering to. And I got some things flavored with red bean, which I love, and you can't really find it outside of specifically like the Japanese food stores. Um, so yeah, it was great to find those. When I next get food from there, I'm gonna look for like if they have cans of red bean paste, because I I think it would be great and probably a lot cheaper if I just made stuff with it. But besides the regular jasmine rice, I also got some sticky sweet rice, I think, or at least sticky. So I'm like, cool, I can learn how to do stuff with that too. I'm having fun with cooking. Earlier today, I realized a bunch of my carrots were going bad, so like they were starting to sprout the hairs, and so actually I realized that last night, but I thought, okay, so if they're so um, tomorrow I'll just see which ones are still good and make a big batch of shredded the pickled carrots, and I did that, and like I shredded 30 full size carrots, and my arm was tired. but now I have a huge batch of the pickled carrots. I wasn't expecting to like that so much, but I do. And if I just like eat that with rice and maybe like some the boiled eggs. It's nice to know that I have a good option for dinner there. Oh yeah, they one cool thing they had was this this place with a bunch of cold drinks like in cans and stuff, and they had characters on them, and there were these cans with Sailor Moon characters. So I got one. I actually meant to grab the Usagi one, but I ended up grabbing Chibi Moon, and I'm kind of glad because, like, the Usagi is probably my at least one of my favorite characters, but and I think the flavor they put her on was mango, and I love that, but since I accidentally grabbed the Chibi Moon can, I got to try the lychee flavor. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but like Lychee. So that was a fun bonus. And sorry, I was getting stuck on the next word I wanted to say, which is why I paused there. But hi, hi Zara. Good to have you here. You're due for the groceries. Yeah. Well, I hope that you can get them soon. It is kind of stressful managing that. Like, what do I like? even if I do have money for them, like what do I get? What do I make with it? How fast do I use it so that I have what I need, but it doesn't go bad. So yeah, it's kind of a learning process for me at least. Yes, the virtual, the groceries, those all look good. One thing I got was these, they're called pancakes. They're kind of like toaster pastries, and they have red bean paste inside, and they're so good. I've been putting them in the toaster oven. Yeah, meal planning is not fun. Weirdly, I also get stressed when I have too many things to eat, because I'm like, it'll go bad before I can get to it. Like I have a bag of potatoes that I think they're still good, but like they're starting to sprout and stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like eating them right now, but I want to eat them before they go. But yeah, I have um, um, other stuff to eat too. So, but we do have a compost pile, so that helps with not feeling like like it's going to waste. I'm terrible in meal planning. Plus, it's just me and my dude. Our daughter moved out in 2021, so we are just living our best eat what we want when we want adult lives now. Nice, yeah, yeah. You too. Amaris, have a great evening. I have the mug from my roommate this time. And we also have to hydrate before we dehydrate. As I'm told the kids say. If so, props. For anyone who wasn't here before, the surprise is my undyed yarn that came this week, and I'm going to start developing colorways. This is mostly, if not completely, bamboo yarn, so since I love plant fibers, I'm planning to kind of make it part of my branding that that's what I'm doing, because there's a lot of beautiful hand-dyed yarn that is like wool, and that's great, but I don't like working with wool as much as plant fibers, even though I love goats. So yeah, yes, I am. That's been my goal for like since before I moved here, and I've been slowly working up towards all the things that I need to actually start dyeing yarn. So, yes, yes. Hydrate before you dye. The 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 dihydrate. One of my friends said hydrate before you dye straight, which is really funny. Probably works best if for those of us in the queer the community, but I also like hydrate before you dihydrate. I think the first time I saw that actually was a Tumblr post about someone else using it. Yeah, I'm not gonna dye straight either. I might not even dye DYE straight, so. Yeah, this, I can't remember who the concert was by, but it was this post about like, yeah, this guy was so confused by his young and enthusiastic fans from like Gen Z shouting, yeah, hydrate before you dihydrate, when he stopped to drink some water or something. So yeah. Oh, hi, Christine. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. I am very happy when people pop in or hang out or just like it just feels like a good thing that I'm like I'm on the right track if people are coming to these. So yeah. Years ago, my mom and sisters came with me and the kiddo to Disneyland on one of the Pride days, and she spent the whole day complimenting all the youngins on their apparel. She was cackling over it. The only thing straight about me is my teeth shirt. Nice. Yeah. What am I working on? I am still working on this mosaic sparkly space blanket, as I'm calling it, because it's in it. None of these except this are my patterns, but I just kind of put them together, and I chose the patterns and the yarn because it makes me think of space. So I'm on the second to last border that I'm going to be doing, and then I'll do one in the same two yarns on the opposite edge, and then just like weave in the ends and trim the fringe. Then I'll be done. And I wasn't sure what this was going to be for. Like it's a blanket and that's great, but like what do I do with it? But the other day I had it on my legs because like it's not done yet, but still like it's enough to cover my legs and feet, and I was like, wow, I'm actually warm. I guess it's going to be my lab blanket. Cool. Oh, thank you. Well, we have to start somewhere, so don't feel bad or anything. Also remind myself not to feel bad about stuttering, which is a thing that happens. I'm also like relatively new at mosaic crochet, so ooh, granny squares. Yeah, actually, these are granny um that 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 mosaic granny squares. So I'm not working on a square right now, but most of the blanket is made of squares. So yay, granny squares. Do you have a project in mind for them, or just kind of making a stash of squares? Like the building blocks for a future project? Oh, I actually haven't done the last row of Lost Souls as written, but since I'm doing this piece as a commission for someone, I want to make sure that I know what the pattern says actually. But like, yeah. Also, like when if you're doing a triangle shawl, it's just so long at that edge, and you're like, I'll be working on this row for 10,000 years. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's awesome that you're making your daughter the bucket hat. I'm not too familiar with that pattern, but there's lots of things in the crochet world that I'm like not in the loop on. But it's cool that you're doing that. We're yeah, true. We're all varying degrees of awesome as we learn. Keep all of those squares and compare them to ones you make years later, and I promise you will amaze yourself. Yeah, and you are the cool mom. Yes. I mean, for what it's worth, I think so. Oh yeah, that's the triangle one that you're making. It's probably probably obvious, but my camera's right here, and it's showing me what I look like on here on my laptop, and the chat is down here, so that's why I glanced down there. Okay, so you're using worsted yarn, so it's not that bad. Just 5,000 years, yeah, not not quite 10,000. I it's one thing I really enjoy about watching Jade the Libra. When she's like, I've been jamming my jaws for 10,000 years. I'm like, yes. I love how the folksy she is. Like, extremely like gorgeous and goth on the outside, and then just like folksy and Texas on the when she talks. Like, yeah. I did love the Lost Souls shawl when I started, and by the end it was like just be done. Yeah, that's how it is. I had to remind myself what the Lost Souls, what to do in the Lost Souls pattern, because I wanted to make sure I was doing it right for the commission. But now I'm to the point where I can just kind of go. So it's nice to have a project that I can just like pick up while I'm watching YouTube. Yeah, you just started crocheting 4 months ago, so any tips you have for granny square making easier, I'll take it. Yeah, well, you're doing granny squares faster than I did them, it was like I was crocheting on and off for years before I guess heard of granny squares and got really into the online crochet community. But I'm trying to think if I have any tips, and I don't know, but if anyone else has them, please put them in the chat. All I can think of is this really funny thing where I was doing what the center of one of my granny squares in a different color, and I was I got to the end of it, and I was proud of how like it hadn't taken that long, but then I realized it only had 3 corners instead of 4. So, oh well. I think I kept that one for a while just because it made me laugh. It's only your 4th one. Well, yeah, it seems like you're getting pretty fast at them, which is cool. I was intimidated by granny squares for a long time because I didn't want to change colors. Yeah, I feel like, isn't there a granny pattern, like a granny square pattern, and then I haven't ever done that pattern. I've just done the square, but like in a different pattern. But color changing can be tricky, yeah. Yeah, and like that was only a couple of years ago when I was getting pretty good at crochet. So just hopefully that shows you that not being perfect doesn't mean that you're not good at, or that making mistakes doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job at crochet. But I was just zipping along and was like, wow, this is so fast. And it was probably fast because I missed a whole corner. Speaking of changing colors, I don't know if there happens to be anyone here that wants to change to do color work and doesn't know this. One thing that blew my mind when I started getting into color work was that you're supposed to change colors before you close the last stitch of the previous color, because otherwise the working yarn will be the wrong color, so the picture will kind of tilt, and that helped so much when I was starting to do like GraphGAN things, because I had noticed that previously, where I was like, I guess that's just a feature of the crochet, where the color just kind of is off. But yeah, it was good to find that out. I put that in the page of tips in my chart patterns. Yeah, YouTube does have a lot on granny squares, but sometimes there's too much info. Yeah, it can definitely be overwhelming, like when there's so many people. So, oh, the next one will be dark gray. Nice. when I first started learning crochet, I used to knot the ends all wonky. It took me a few minutes to understand weaving in all of the ends. Yeah, actually, I still knot them on the backs of my colorwork graph cans. Um, I I make sure to not do it too tight so that there's there's enough room for the fabric to like squish and the stretch, but also the graph cans, like there's a very definite back of the fabric, so if you want the ends to be not too visible, then it's it's a good idea to just weave them. Also, like there are so many ends on the graph cans that I do because of all of the color changes. But yeah, I'm glad that or I hope that tip helps. I definitely wish I'd known it when I was first trying to do some color work. Several years ago, I was trying to design some like gloves and altar cloths, and kind of kind of like the patterns that you do now with the washcloths that Winter. That's on Winter's the Ribbler shop. They have a lot of cool washcloths with like goth and the pagan patterns, but should you do fringes for the sides? I feel like it'll look good either way. So I don't really have a vote, but um, I have a goat, if that helps. Do you get paid for commission work? I have friends looking to get some pieces commissioned. Um, yeah, I mostly just do um, um, commissions for friends at this point, because I do get paid for them, but the amount that I can ask and the work it takes is um, like it's not really possible for me to ask the amount that all of the work is worth. So so I mostly just do it for friends, but I think there are people that do more commissions. So I don't I'm not sure I know of. Oh wait, there. The only, like, I'm sure there are lots of people in the crochet world who would know more about that and be better to ask, but the only one I can think of right now is the person from Not Your Nana's Yarn Work, who does these amazing crocheted body parts that I'm not going to say on here because they're not safe for work. But one of the reasons I that look up to this person is because I feel like their crocheted stuff is similar to the type of art that I do in my graph cans. So but close, it's more like art pieces that are different. this person has a um, 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 an interview in the Pink Sheep and Friends series. So you know, go go to that the playlist on the Pink Sheep Designs channel, and there's one with I can't remember their name, but they're the person from um, um, Not Your Nana's Yarn Work. So they're yes. Are we talking rod type or balloon type? Also, it's a lot of things that are kind of like decorative clam shell, except it's not really a clam. Some cactuses that are something else. So like it's just really fun stuff. And they have a story about how they did a commission for a trans guy who was doing top surgery, and he wanted a crocheted version of his chest, like pre surgery. So that was a cool story to hear. Where are my scissors? I finished a row, which is cool. Also, these rows are much shorter than the previous ones. But this is what it looks like so far. Oh, cool. If I hide my face, it wants to look at the thing up close. That is fair. Actually, I feel like as the type of artist who does that type of thing, at least from my perspective, and probably this person too, like it makes us keenly aware of like not wanting to put our work in front of people that don't want to see it, or where it wouldn't be appropriate. So that's one thing that I've had trouble with, like trying to find out where I can host my charts. They are on my Etsy, but like some sites don't want patterns that aren't safe for work. So just look them up, and yes, they are not my Nana's yarn work, right? They're one of the people I look up to because they're doing this full time, like their crochet business, and they're one of the few people I know who's also spicy. So yeah, I mean, in terms of what they do, like, so. Oh, I'm mostly okay looking at pictures and images, but the 3D crochet pieces I have a hard time with. Yeah, that's fair. So probably not something you want to follow, but like, yeah. Yeah, finding the right audience is a big thing. It's one reason why I'm doing these, so I can get partly from word of mouth and partly from YouTube saying like, oh hey, this person shows up and people apparently like them. Let's push them to more people, hopefully. So yeah, just like building the audience and finding people who want to who like that, because it's really funny. They tell you to niche down if you want to sell crochet stuff or really in any type of business. But I have been told, you might have niched down too far with my crochet charts, which I love. But like, one reason I'm branching out into dyeing yarn is because that has a much wider audience, and I know there's a market for hand-dyed yarn that's spooky all year round, and also for plant fiber yarn. So, oh yeah, that could be being linked to your being agender. That I'm sure that would affect your feelings on whether you want to see certain things or just like dysphoria. One of my friends who does tattoos has some of the cutest art where you have to look really close to understand that they're genitals. Yeah, I kind of love stuff like that. Not quite the same, but my housemate was saying one of the things that she loves about the Lost Souls poncho that we're doing is that people are going to see it from a distance and go, "Oh, that's a gorgeous lace piece." Then they look closer and be like, "Wait, skulls?" And I get that even with my bigger. This is a fairly small. I'm using a small hook and like trying to crochet tight so the skulls are more delicate. But even with my larger like skull shawls, I get that people will be like, "Oh, that's nice. Wait, skulls? Huh." Oh, that is great to hear that you would love plant fiber hand dyed. Well, this is 10 undyed skeins of bamboo, and I have 2 more bags of this to start with. So this weekend I'll be dyeing some yarn and also filming to like a blog thing. Also some pictures for my site that I'm still the working on. So autism pattern recognition services, seeing those almost immediately every time. But those are cool too. Yeah, I definitely understand that pattern recognition. I trying to go through the comments quickly because I'm a bit over time, but it's always amazing when you guys chat. So like, please, like, don't stop on my account. Have a wool allergy, and to get alternative fibers is hard to find hand dyed. Yeah, that's one reason why I think it's going to be a really cool thing for me to do plant fibers, because I'm doing it because I love that type of yarn. But I can also say, hey, if you can't deal with wool for some reason, like I live in a hot climate, I have not a wool allergy, but like sensory issues. So it's just really hard for me to work with and to wear wool. But there's so much gorgeous hand-dyed yarn that just happens to be wool, which I mean, I love sheep and goats and all the things that give us wool. I just don't want to use it myself. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that there's interest in this, because this is what I'm hoping to grow the main, like, support myself branch of my business. So tell your friends. But I think it's time to go to. But thank you so much for coming and chatting. And even on days when I'm like kind of bleh, I always feel so great after coming on here. So thank you so much for being the reason for that. And